Hello, hello, welcome. I hope you're doing well. This is the Life in Transitions Experts YouTube channel, Facebook group, and podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Rollins, here at the Life in Transitions Experts channel. I'm also the operator and founder of Estate Pro Service LLC, where I'm helping you make the probate process and estate planning easier while making money and income primarily through real estate. And a lot of this content, or all this content, is based on questions that I receive, experience that I have dealing with probate in North Carolina, and dealing with people who have either found distress in their property or have some reason that they want to sell their property. And quite often they want to trade speed and convenience for a discounted price. And so one of the big questions that comes up quite often when doing probate is how to settle the account, how to deal with the account, whether you're doing the final account, which is settling it, or perhaps you have to do an annual account because there's maybe still more things to take place in the probate. So let's take a look at that and dig a little deeper. Hopefully, I have a slide here that explains what probate is. Pretty simple. It's the process of settling the affairs of someone who's passed away. If someone passes away with property in their name or assets in their name, most assets will have to go through the probate process so that it can go to the next person. Now, there are legal instruments in certain assets that don't have to go through if you have certain designations like beneficiary upon death, and there's other legal instruments like trust, which are awesome. Don't get me started. That you can use to avoid the probate process. I feel like you guys can't see me. And if you want information about that or any suggestions on what those look like, please reach out to me. That is one of my missions to help people avoid probate. It is like one is very avoidable, but it's like having a civil lawsuit against your family. I've heard someone say that before. I can't remember who exactly said that, but it was a wise person who said that. And in my experience, I see it as that because it's expensive, it's very time consuming, and it's public. And so those are many reasons why I would assume that you would want to avoid it and connect with me, and I can show you how you can avoid it. Now, I'm not an attorney. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving legal or financial advice. This channel is designed to share my experience. Hopefully, if folks find it helpful, they can use that and help folks on the way. But in probate, the process generally, you're going to open up probate, depending on whether there's a will or not. Then you'll start gathering the inventory while you're notifying the creditors, people who may have debt. And during that time, that stuff comes in. That's when you do the accounting, paying bills, paying taxes, distributing the inheritance, and hopefully you have everything zeroed out and your account's taken care of, and you can close the estate. So I have other in-depth content on this specifically, and that's because it's a question that continues to come up. Now, what is Form 506? 506 is the form that, as you can see here, yet my waves over it. You're either going to be an annual, which is every 12 months while the estate is open, or final, and it's way that you show transparency, what's happening in the estate, uh, and you can show accountability of like where everything is going in the estate. It shows the account of the estate, literally. All right, and so the purpose, again, we're saying the purpose is to have transparency with the courts, transparency with heirs, transparency with all stakeholders on what's happening in the estate. It's also legally required. So, as the personal representative, the person who's representing the estate, it's your legal requirement to make sure that you document and share this information with the courts. It's also important because you need to make sure the beneficiaries have their information and know that they receive what they were supposed to receive, or why there was no funds, or these funds were distributed in this way. Back to transparency. All right, so let's look at some of the components, some of the parts of the AOC 506. This is specific to North Carolina, the form. It's going to look different in other states. But North Carolina, at the top is the identification of the estate. Oh, I should have broke down. I actually had the picture of the form with this, but you'll have part of it is identification of the estate, saying who it is, what it is, and usually from the inventory form 505 is where you'll say, okay, this was the state of the estate when it opened. This is what we said the inventory was that was approved, and this is what we're doing from here. All right. Then you'll show all the receipts and things that were distributed out. Like, okay, I had a bill for really for the probate filing, or I had a bill for the attorney, or I had a bill that was owed for the health for the hospital or for the funeral home. This is where you show that these are the bills and this is the receipt of them being paid out. And then dispersed is really it's basically paying the bills. Paying the bills. Actually, it's dispersed. It's really disperse or distribute. I think you distribute inheritance and you disperse money. So dispersing means you're paying off something. Distributing means you're sharing or giving the inheritance away. And you'll have to show the receipts and disbursements. You also will show the inheritance. But another portion of it is showing the balance. Now, if there's still a balance open, that means the estate is still open. And so you may have to file an annual estate because every 12 months you're required to file so that the state of North Carolina knows what the affair is, what the state of the account of the state of the estate is. And so you have to show the balance. Final account is supposed to be zero balance. You definitely can get it there. Definitely check with an attorney or a CPA if you want to connect with me, and I can point you in the right directions. I've actually supported people and helped people this way. We just, sign a claimer that or waiver that I'm not giving legal advice, but I can, since I see these all the time and work on them all the time, have a little more experience and hopefully make it go faster. But the greatest route is with an attorney, and I know some awesome attorneys that can work with you. All right. Yeah, the distribution. Okay, so I was right. Distribution. You disperse to pay bills. You distribute to give the inheritance. It shows what was distributed, whether it's being distributed straight to you as the sole heir or to whoever. Um, and there you'll have all the supporting documents, all the bills that came in, all the receipts that were paid, all the sign off that's saying, hey, cousin JoJo got this, and she or he or they sign off there just to make sure everything is transparent. All right, and then you basically sign an affidavit, basically saying, notarizing and saying that hey, this is true to the best of my knowledge. All right. All right, how to complete the form. Oh, we're going deep here. All right, awesome. You're going to gather all the financial documents. Make sure you have that inventory form 505 because that's where you're going to play to. Make sure you have all the bills and receipts and stuff that you pay. That's why it's so important to keep a record. That's why it's also important to work with folks like Estate Pro Service or other spaces where you can hire folks out to do this job because then they'll go off and they'll do the work, but you're only paying one person, so it's less receipts and stuff that you have to hold for. But you can. I know that probate specialists like myself there aren't many out there, so you can do it yourself. Just make sure you gather all the financial records, keep them close together because you'll be using that to document. Of course, when you fill out the form, there are instructions that come with it, come on the back, but it, it really is. I mean, I know it sounds simple, but it's really a matter of making sure that all the money that was there, you show where it went, and it adds up. Now, if you actually on the inventory, let's say you had a car, let's just say for easy numbers, you said the car was worth $100, but you sold it for $50. That means the estate took a loss. There's a section there where you'll be able to show all the losses the estate took. So basically, easy, quick explanation showing that hey, this we said it was this amount, but we only be able to sell it for this amount. The house was supposed to be valued at this, but we end up selling it for less. You'll document that too, because again, you want everything to zero out by the end. Of course, review and sign. I know it's quite simple, but I should. Matter of fact, I might do another podcast or show on like really breaking it down, like I've done in the past. Go back and find those YouTubes on Life and Transition Experts YouTube channel, accounting, where I actually literally put the actual sheet up here and walk through it. But I just wanted to do like an overview of it for folks here. Of course, you'll file in the court. Hopefully, it gets approved, and then you're off to the races. Now, if you want any support, again, I offer free conversation. We can sign up on my calendar and sit down and chat and see where you are. If you need more in-depth support, we can talk about that, and hopefully, one of my favorite phrases to say, point you in the right direction. I know this is challenging. I know we're not all, mathematically inclined. I mean, CPAs, bless them. People who love numbers, bless them. To me, it's not a fun thing to do, and I can imagine people dealing with it. We're here to support and here to relieve that pressure from you. So reach out to us. If you have property or know folks who have property that they're looking for a convenient and quick sell, feel free to reach out. We see if we can get them qualified for a sale and make it happen. And yeah, other than that, this is Courtney Rollins with the Life and Transitions Experts YouTube channel, Facebook group, all that good stuff. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. It helps us reach more people who are in distress, and we may be able to support them. So your like, your subscribe helps others. LITE, Life and Transitions Experts. Let your light shine. Cheers.